Yo guys, how's it going? It's Ed, bringing you all things Leeds, and welcome to the match report for Leeds United's game yesterday. So the Whites beat Bristol City 2-0 at Elland Road. And we'll get into it straight away, shall we? And with the first half, well, the first thing that I noticed really has to be said was the Leeds fans. The fans got right behind the team from the get-go and were brilliant from minute to last. Really were good throughout the entire game. But the fans got right behind the team and we really had to, didn't we? You know, it can't be easy for the players at the moment with the amount of injuries that we're getting. You know, teams are changing left, right and centre. You know, players going in, going out. But also with the two new lads who came in as well, of course. Two players made their senior team debuts. Will Huffer, he came in for the injured Bailey Peacock-Fowle. He was a Bielsa's choice to go in goal, and then Apo Helm, the Finnish lad, he stepped in at centre back. And I'll talk about them two first. And you know, I was impressed with them both really. You know, Helm, he's tall, big, strong, and he looks like a centre half. And he, you know, he didn't look out of place at all. He looked like he had actually, you know, played a few championship games already. So I was impressed with him. Will Huffer, there were some balls that he, you know, failed to deal with. You know, a few crosses into the box where he came out for the ball, either punched it away instead of catching, tried to catch it but dropped, or, you know, just missed it completely. So that could be a weakness because he's not the tallest of goalkeepers, especially if you put him next to Jamal Blackman. He was massive. But that was the only really weakness of his game. Although a few touches, he did take quite, you know, probably one too many heavy touches, which you can't really afford to do. You know, some touches that were going 3 yards in front of him, which you can't really afford to do in the Championship. But apart from that, I was impressed. You know, his distribution was excellent. You know, when he got the ball, he looked confident, and you know, his distribution was good. And also, one thing that I kept a key eye on, because I feel as though it's a weakness in Bailey Peacock-Fowle's game, was his commanding of the area. And I felt as though he commanded his area very, very well. So I was impressed with both Will Huffer and Apo Helm. And I've got no problem whatsoever with them two having to step in whenever they need to. But it couldn't have been an easier game, really, for them to make the senior debuts, and also for the rest of the team to bounce back from that 4-1 loss at the Hawthorns. You know, not only were we playing a team who were going into the game on the back of you know, 3 losses in a row, but they really were a good team with Bristol City. They really are a poor side, and they really did not cause us any problems at all. You know, the only time they did cause us problems, and where Will Huffer and Helm were called upon, was when they delivered balls into the box and, you know, got set pieces and delivered balls into the box from there. But they really didn't cause us any problems at all. The Bristol City, they did like what most teams have done when they've come to Elland Road this season, was they just sat back and tried to make it as difficult as they possibly could for Leeds United. And they did that, really. You know, they did make it difficult. We struggled to break them down, but it wasn't the best of performances from either team, really. You know, Bristol City didn't really turn up, but we never really got out of second gear for most of the game. You know, it wasn't the prettiest of performances. To say that we're back at our best because we got 3 points would be ludicrous, but it really wasn't the best of performances. You know, still good football, and some best football that we've seen for years, but it wasn't the best performances that we've seen this season anyway. But we got the 3 points. You know, we got the job done. We got the 2-0 win. Got the job done. Got the 3 points, and that's all that mattered. You know, going into the game, we were saying, you know, it don't matter about the performance as long as we get the win, bounce back, and get the 3 points and stay up there at the top of the, you know, near the top of the table. That's all that mattered, and you know, like I said, we got the job done. But not much happened in the first half at all. Of course, it was 0-0 at half time. But then going into the second half, you know, it looked like a 0-0 really up until the red card, which I'll get onto in a sec. But if there was going to be a team who was going to come out winners in the game, it would be Leeds United, because we were the better team, I felt, for the entire game really. Of course, we were helped on by the red card. The referee did us a favour. Although the referee, I thought, had a good game. You know, it needs to be said. You know, we always slag off the referees when they have a bad game. But when they have a good game, you know, it never really gets said. And I thought the referee didn't have, you know, as bad a game as other referees have had this season. You know, he let quite a lot go, which sometimes can be annoying, but he lets the game flow, which I like. There was only one dodgy decision, which was at the beginning of the game. He awarded Leeds United a corner, but then changed his mind and gave a goal kick to Bristol City. But other than that, I thought the referee had a decent game. And the 2 yellow cards, Josh Brownhill, first yellow card, of course, that's a yellow card. And then when you're already on a yellow card, you can't put in a challenge like he did for his second booking. It was pretty stupid there, and it definitely was 2 yellow cards and a red. No problem there, and the red card changed the game really, and it was advantage us. They were down to 10 men, we had the extra man. It was advantage to us, obviously, and you know, like I say, it did change the game. Bielsa, he made 2 subs in the space of 64 minutes. Well, before 64 minutes, he made 2 subs in the second half. And, it's not something that we're not really used to seeing either, but we have kind of, given stick on Twitter saying, Bielsa needs to make subs quicker because he has been making subs quite late, but he made 2 subs early on in the second half, and, Zaiz, he came on, and so did Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison, I wasn't really impressed with him, but Samuel Zaiz, he looked okay. But of course, 2 subs, and, they come on when they've just gone down to 10 men. And it's a completely different game. We got 1-0 up on 69 minutes. It was kind of a messy goal, really. The ball went to the right, came back in. Hernandez, I think he was going for goal. And I think it was going on target, actually. But I think that the goalkeeper would have had it covered. So Ruth made sure that the keeper didn't have it covered. And he smashed it in for his 8th goal of the season. And he is our highest goal scorer for the season. And it was comfortable from there. For Leeds, really. We had other chances, but I was kind of lost in the crowd, really, because the crowd were excellent from minute to last. It was fantastic scenes. I do remember, though, Barry Douglas, at one point, he had a shot, he was dipping in, he almost got a screamer. So, but like I say, it was comfortable for us from then on in. And then with 5 minutes left to go of normal time, Pablo Hernandez scores the second, and it's 2-0 to us. And it's similar to the West Brom goal between him and Zaiz. Zaiz lifted the ball up, and Pablo Hernandez heads it in, and it's looping over the keeper and into that bottom right-hand corner. So, it was a good goal from Pablo Hernandez. Pablo Hernandez didn't have the best of games yesterday, but of course he got an assist and he got a goal. So you can't complain with that. And, like I say, it was comfortable for us, really. It wasn't the best performances, but it was comfortable for us. And we ran out 2-0 winners and got the 3 points, which is, all that matters, really. I do want to have a word on Lee Johnson's comments after the game. Of course, he said that we were lucky to get the 3 points, and we got away with it, which, is a stupid comment, really. I don't know what game he was watching, but he sounds like a man under pressure. Bristol City have now lost 4 games in a row, so it's not looking good for him or Bristol City. But all you have to do is look at the stats. If you look at shots, we had 20 shots compared to their 7. We had 6 on target compared to their 1. And then in possession, we had 63% possession compared to their 37. I never like looking at stats, but when their manager's saying we were lucky and we got away with it, I think that's a bit ludicrous. We didn't get away with it. Yes, it was going to look like, it did look like at some points that it was going to just be a 0-0 draw. But the red card changed the game. I guess we got lucky in that aspect. But looking at the stats there, we were well worth our win. And I felt as though we did well to win 2-0. Of course, got 3 points. I got my prediction right. I, of course, predicted 2-0. If you don't believe me, check my match preview. I predicted 2-0, so I got that right. So I was buzzing. But of course, we got 3 points, but we're still in 3rd place in the table. Still 3 points off the top. Of course, Norwich are still top of the table. Norwich beat Swansea 4-1 away from home yesterday, which is incredible for them. And they have a few easy games coming up, so it doesn't look like they're going to drop form. So it's important that we win in our next few matches, which we'll get onto in a second. But we stay in 3rd place, 3 points off the top, 3 points off of 7th. So not really any movement in terms of position or how many points you are off one another. All the other teams around us seem to win or draw, just not lose. So it makes our win more important, really. And it was a well-needed win, much-needed win. And like I said in my match preview, it was a must-win. And of course, we did win. It wasn't prettiest performances, but we got 3 points, got a 2-0 win, and it was job done, and that's all that matters. Of course, it's Reading on Tuesday at home. I will, of course, be going to it. Expect a match preview and match report for that game. You expect 3 points from that game, but of course, the big one comes on December 1st when Leeds United travel to Bramall Lane to take on Sheffield United. That is, of course, the big one that we are all looking forward to. But it's important that we pick up 3 points at Reading, because it'll be very, very difficult away at Sheffield United. But like I say, expect match previews, match reports for them games. Expect a podcast this week, so make sure, if you are brand new, make sure you subscribe for all the content that's coming up. Leave your thoughts on the match in the comments down below. I would love to know your thoughts of the match from you guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, and like I've already said, if you are brand new, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.